What is voltage? You can think of voltage as the difference in the amount of energy between 2 points in a circuit. Just like different rooms in your house may be at different temperatures, different parts of a circuit may have different amounts of energy. What makes voltage tricky is that it's relative. You cannot define voltage as a single point without establishing a reference. To understand this concept, consider a circuit with 2 batteries and 2 light bulbs connected by a wire. Point A has some energy due to battery 1. Similarly, point B has a different amount of energy due to battery 2. Since batteries are part of the energy generating category, we know that point B has more energy than point A, and point A has more energy than point D. Let's show this energy difference with a bucket at point B that has more content than a bucket at point A. Every time we add a battery, we reach points of higher energy in the circuit. Now point C is after an energy-consuming component, the light bulb, so the energy at this point is lower than the energy at point B. Following the same logic, the energy at point D is lower than the energy at point C. Every time we pass through an energy-consuming component, we reach points of lower energy in the circuit. We don't know if the energy at point C is greater than at point A because we don't know if the energy generated by battery 2 is greater or smaller than the energy consumed by the first light bulb. It's even possible that the energy at point C is exactly the same as that energy at point A. We will talk a lot more about this concept in later videos, but for now it is important to recognize that each point on the circuit may have different amounts of energy depending on the type of components present. A bit of vocabulary here to impress your friends. Each point on the circuit is called a node. From now on, we'll refer to points as nodes. Now that we know that each node has an associated amount of energy, we are ready to look at the voltage between 2 nodes. Just like your weight is measured in pounds or kilograms, voltage is measured in units of volts. Don't forget that voltage is the difference in energy between 2 nodes. What is the voltage at node A is a question that cannot be answered unless the second node, also known as the reference node, is specified. For instance, the voltage from A to D is the difference in energy between points A and D. In this circuit, this voltage is equal to the voltage rating of battery 1. If battery 1 is a 2-volt battery, then the voltage from A to D is 2 volts. We denote the voltage from point A to D as VAD. So we know that point A is 2 volts above point D, but what is the voltage VDA? Note that we changed the order of nodes in this question, and since point A is 2 volts above point D, it is also true that point D is 2 volts below point A. Therefore, voltage from point D to A, or VDA, is negative 2 volts. Since I sense that you're not fully convinced about the relative property of voltage, let's analyze node B. Let's assume that battery 2 is rated at 5 volts. So the voltage from B to A, VBA, is 5 volts. But what is the voltage from B to D? Well, if B is 5 volts above A and A is 2 volts above D, then it's clear that B is 7 volts above D, making VBD 7 volts. If we ask you what the voltage is at B, but we don't tell you the second point, how can you answer? The voltage at B is 7 volts when compared to D, but only 5 volts when compared to A. So there, voltage must always be given relative to a reference.